Dear Thai Sanger and practitioner, I remember you usually told us we have to maintain the doubt in all circumstances. Whether it's good or bad, um, in general, we have to keep the doubt even when we are within duality, or else we will fall into ignorant attachment. Can you talk more about this issue that I have? Sometimes I feel like I maintain the practice very well, but look like when when things go the way I want, I am to maintain practice, but no guarantee that when life go against what I want, I will be able to maintain the practice. I maintain the practice, but I still see that I easily get influenced, and after one night, I return to the continue to practice, but feel like I keep falling into this mistake. Our practice asks the question, raise the doubt. Um, our, our, we rely on the wise teacher, the Buddha, the patriarch to strengthen our belief in the original mind and our our stance to practice liberation stronger and clearer. Without the reminders of the Buddha and the patriarch, without the belief in the original mind to maintain the practice, very hard for us to make achievement. When we come to the temple, we want to practice, focus on the practice. Therefore, we have all signs. Look at the Huato everywhere because the patriarch want us to maintain the truth. But usually we practice based on our attachment and differentiation knowledge instead of maintain the practice. It's a habit for countless lives. Sometimes when we feel peaceful, quiet, we attach um, to that stage, but without knowing that is a dangerous place that will make us procrastinate and fall into uh, the nihilistic state without even wanting to move forward to raise the doubt. Usually, when we exposed to the conditions around us, we will see that we still have all kinds of habits and raise all kinds of thoughts and afflictions. But luckily, we still have the Dharma friends around us, telling us return to the practice and not letting those conditions control us. Like when we started practicing, we don't want to be controlled by all afflictions. That's why we enter the way. Once we enter the way, um, we feel a little bit better because we feel like we don't get so easily controlled by all affliction. But there's a lot of challenges on the learning at first. We didn't know we use the practice to suppress the afflictions, the more we want to run away from those, the more um, they come find us. But thanks to the reminder of the Dharma friends and thanks to us, maintain the practice and have a little bit of right view in order to figure it out. Then we started to feel less influenced by those afflictions. And then we feel like we improve, but our old habits still lie low there. It's just like because we haven't been exposed to those similar conditions. That's why those afflictions haven't arisen. And once we expose to those afflictions, um, again, that habits lead us back to all kind of unhappiness. It's because our practice is still not strong, and we um, we feel content. We think that we are doing well and uh, thinking that we practice well and didn't know that we need to. It's just because we haven't exposed to those conditions, and then when we lose the peacefulness that we have, we want to try to keep it, gain it back. That means we now have the objects of seeking and gaining. So with the teaching and the help of uh, the, the wise teachers, we continue to practice and help us overcome those challenges again. And once we continue to practice, we start raise the prajna contemplation. We know that those karma is not just one life, but for the three lives, past, present, and future. Like we said, the net of karma, even if it's scattered, it still not let any seeds go through. Sooner or later, we have to um, uh, pay back the retribution from our karma. And when we face all of those challenges, sometimes we ourselves cannot face all of them on our own. But thanks to the light of the three jewels and Buddhism and the patriot, it helps us raise our energy to continue to walk on our path and overcome all of the obstacles to continue to practice. From all of the encouraging words, all of the Dharma talk, and the teachings of the wise teachers, it helps us face all conditions without fear and continue to practice. The practice is not that simple. We have to be careful and meticulous when we practice long. Make a presuming mind. Careful here means we put all our mind into the practice and not care about other things. That way, um, our practice will gain some achievement. Sometimes we feel like we keep making the same mistake again and again, but because we still have to experience all kind of karmas, sometimes we end this karma, another one will come again and again because we have countless of karma seed. So without the practice, we won't be able to overcome all kind of challenges. Dear Thầy, I understand. How should I make a vow? Thầy said to practice is to make the true vow. She said she doesn't think she believes enough in her original mind. Thầy said to make a vow to always rely on the three jewels and practice believe in the original mind and raise the doubt. So making vows and put in actions should go together. That is how we fulfill our vows. Raise the Bodhi mind is to raise the non-attaching mind. Dare to let go, dare to sacrifice, dare rather die than give up the practice. Thank you, Thầy. Nam Mô Muni Buddha, dear Thầy, dear everyone. After hearing Tam asking, my practice seemed to be on the opposite side to Tam practice. For me, when I face all of the conditions that go against what I want, it helped me reflect back on my practice, and from there I feel more encouraged and figure out that my practice is not good enough. Therefore, I couldn't overcome what happened. When things go with according to what I want, I feel like I take it for granted. And when I look back, look like there's a while that I lost the practice. I feel peaceful and feel very light. But looks like I forget to practice. So it looks like each person experience feel like each person experience are in duality of two opposite sides. Could you talk more about this? Thank you, Thầy. In the practice, our mind always generates discrimination. Some like quietness, some like the noise. Some said I can practice even when better when I face outside conditions. Some said I need to be away from the external conditions to practice well. We might be able to know our sickness, but we don't know how to cure those sickness without the accompanying of the wise teachers and our Dharma friends. Then we will just let our sickness grow and grow. And we won't believe in the original mind, but just believe in our own consciousness. We make assumption like I have to face the external condition to practice. I have to walk to practice. Others said I have to be away from other conditions to practice, or I have to sit to practice. The wise teacher said, um, meditation means to sit the mind, not to sit the body. Um, Only when our mind is unmoved, facing all of the conditions, then that is the right practice. The doubt is exactly the non-attachment. We don't need to go for the non-attachment. Um, when we not influenced by whether it's quiet or it's noisy, whether we they face the conditions or not, we just need to return to ask the question clearly. Depending on our karma, whether we have to face this condition or that condition, we still maintain the practice. We don't want to rely on or look for the conditions that we want in order to practice. We don't want to look for the challenging condition to practice, or we don't want to look for the good condition to practice. Therefore, we need the doubt. The doubt. So again, always ask the question, raise the doubt, rely on the wise teacher. Don't take it for granted and assume that our consciousness is what we should do. Thank you, Thầy. I wanted to ask another question. I want to ask about my practice. I'm not sure why I wanted to ask about a lot of times, but when it comes to the time asking, then I forget. Today I remember it. Usually you said the Tao has to be away from subject and object. I am aware of this. When I practice, I ask the question clearly. I do have the mind that wanted to know whether I have the doubt or not. I don't know how to describe, but sometimes I feel I have the thought of wanting to know, but when that thought arises, I worry that I have the subject of seeing, the object of seeing. And when this arise, I'm not sure if I fall into the subject and object. It's not clear at all. Can you give me some advice? This is because you don't practice, but instead chasing after the explanation. Whatever we explain, we you attach to that explanation. When they say left, we attach to left. When they say right, we attach to right. Uh, that is the habits of following and attaching to the saying. In during the Buddha's time, same thing happened to Master Ananda. The Buddha deny the inside, he will chase onto the outside. Deny the outside, he chase into the middle. Deny the middle, he gonna go around. Luckily, he stopped and he know that chasing after the explanation is a sickness. So the seeing is the seeing nature is not within subject object. There is not. The Buddha said that saying is just like the second moon, the moon in the water. So our wise teacher always saying, uh, don't try to accumulate knowledge. Like people who attain the arhatship, they have to end all of the um, seeing attachment and hearing attachment. Even if they see it in reality, the Buddha still asks to sweep all of those seeing. Um, Even when Ananda can remember all of the Buddha's teaching, he still want Ananda to let go of all of that because it's just the second moon. So all of the knowledge cannot compare to even practice just one day. But some people, they just practice based on their attachment because they just, and therefore they cannot, it doesn't get them any achievement because we don't truly practice. We just um, chasing after the words in the scriptures and try to analyze the meaning. Just like the when the parent told the kids to go cook the rice, what we need to do is go cook the rice instead of analyzing the teaching of how to cook the rice. Uh, say same thing. Like some of the kids have mental illness. They asked, but they couldn't even complete their question. They keep asking why. Um, so that is their own sickness because of their mental illness. Now, coming back to us, we also have the sickness, but it's just that our sickness is more subtle. We are just the same as those mental illness kids. Every time those kids want to ask, they really want to ask, but they couldn't complete their question. They keep open up their minds and wanting to do this and that because of the habit of their restlessness. That's why they sit for a while but still couldn't finish the question because they sit but they keep being influenced by all kinds of things. Why? Why? Because I sit the entire time but I couldn't sit. Um, I ask, what do you want to ask? They repeat why, and I repeat, what do you want to ask? They say why again. I feel very bad for them, but what else can we do? They just need to continue to practice. So there is the rough form of sickness versus ours is the subtle form of sickness. Um, so we have to practice. Um, doesn't matter what happened, we need practice to get the meaning of the Buddha in the picture. The Buddha have a special thing. He says anything, he will right there negate what he say. He talk about subject and object, then he sweep all the subject and object. He talk about the moon, then he reiterate that just the second moon. So people don't attach to those. Even the ultimate meaning, the Buddha also denying, let alone the provisional or temporary meaning. So now, for us, believe in the original mind and continue to practice, and then all of those teachings and reminders gradually will click to us. You understand? Our time is up. Goodbye, everyone. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha.